Ladies and gentlemen, it was a good run, but the Champions League jokes are over.
Tough time never lasts.
Manchester City have finally broken their Champions League curse, winning the European final against Inter Milan with a 1-0 victory thanks to Rodri to further cement history as well, completing a historic treble to match the great Manchester United squad of 1999. There is genuinely a massive argument, if I don't know if there's even an argument at this stage. I feel like it's a full-gone conclusion. This Manchester City squad is the best Premier League squad of all time. Erling Haaland only just got here, bro, and they've already won everything. But finally, after a career that's involved so much silverware, so many inspiring performances in a Manchester City shirt, and one club icon, Etihad legend, finally has their Champions League crown. Scott Carson. But before the match started and tensions were high, nerves were jangling. Is that the phrase? Manchester City fans have been here before, and Pep Guardiola's been here plenty of times. Was he gonna overthink like usual? I mean, playing İlkay Gündoğan as a second goalkeeper isn't something I would have chosen to do. And those nerves can't have been improved upon when Erling Haaland went down in the warm-up after being tripped by a cooling box. Inter's man of the match. Phil Foden was trying to forget that the game was even happening, backstage bopping to Burna Boy's pre-match performance. Hey, Abdo was ready to rinse Micah Richards on his big day, watching his former side make history.
One of Liverpool's most famous sons, his biggest night, of course, with his beloved Reds here in Istanbul, Jamie Carragher, and a man who helped launch a football dynasty and is an icon in Manchester, now and around the world. The one and only Peter Schmeichel will join us later on. In the meantime, Micah Richards is here too.
You did me wrong, Kate!
Sergio Aguero was down on the bench with City boss Pep Guardiola, but was devastated upon realising he wasn't actually eligible for a Champions League winners medal. And look, Sergio Aguero is one of Manchester City's biggest legends, okay? If not their biggest after the Premier League win moment. And even as a Liverpool fan, as a neutral, I guess, he was one of the most exciting strikers to watch in recent Premier League history. But I would not have it if I was him. This man's retired from Argentina and they've won a World Cup, and then from Man City and they've won the Champions League. I guess City's Champions League hopes and Argentina's World Cup ones were really in his heart after all. Now, I spoke about curses, and Yaya Toure, his former teammate, was in attendance too. He was ready to cast another spell on all of Istanbul just to continue the curse. Now, I've not really talked about the game too much at this point in the video. Probably wondering, Niran, why are you still talking about the stuff that happened before kickoff? I'll be honest with you, lads, it's because this was not a good game. No, this is not a memorable Champions League for anyone that isn't a Man City or Inter fan. I was at a wedding. I'll break the fourth wall here. I was at a wedding at the same time this game was going on. Did I need to see the analysis at halftime? Absolutely not. But one major key point from the first half was an injury to Kevin De Bruyne. A second in a Champions League final that's led to him coming off early. This man's legs go on unpaid leave when it's crunch time. As soon as it's a Champions League final, his groin is working from home. When Yaya Toure conducted his spell, it deflected off the side of the ground and just went straight into Kevin's leg. But actually what is crazy is that Kevin De Bruyne himself revealed that he's actually had a small tear in his hamstring for 2 months now, but has been playing through it entirely, and unfortunately at the worst possible time during the Champions League final, it basically snapped completely. Now obviously that's probably going to put him on the sidelines for quite some time. It's the end of the season now, so I guess it's not as important. He's not going to miss that many games. He'll be back for the start of next season. But it really does highlight again the strain these players are under. You know, 2 months to be performing at the level that Kevin De Bruyne has, what I would assume is a decent amount of pain and a decent amount of risk that the hamstring could tear completely. That unfortunately did happen for Kevin, and he spent another Champions League final watching on the sidelines. But thankfully for him, there was another Belgian ready to put in a man-of-the-match performance for Manchester City. Romelu Lukaku came on late in this one to try and rescue the game for Inter, after of course Rodri gave City the lead. And this man undid all of the work that Victor Osimhen has done to try and have the African community respected in Italy. It's done, it's a wrap. The guy's tired already just trying to sprint away from the Inter Ultras that chased him out of the ground. He had to explain to his manager Simone Inzaghi why he couldn't get on the end of any of the good deliveries that Inter had put into the box.
I'm 18 stone, I'm heavy. It's hard
hard work.
But not only that, when DiMarco had a chance to score for Inter just 3 minutes after City took the lead, he managed to block his own teammates' effort. This man is a serial offender. He might genuinely be a paid employee of Man City. But look, listen, there's not much you can do about it. He couldn't disappear. Maybe his positioning just wasn't great. He was a little bit off balance until we get to 3 minutes from time, where any Inter goal probably forces this to extra time. And what does he do with the goal at his mercy at point blank range? Find the 0.7 meters in diameter leg of Ederson. At the time, this was described as a good save on BT Sport, but it was a poor miss. Ederson hasn't even had to change direction, move his leg. It's just kind of hit him. Ederson is a wonderful goalkeeper, and he made a great save right at the end even after this. But this was just a poor miss. You've got the whole goal to aim at, and you are 4 yards out. I know it came at his head quick. That's crazy. It came quickly. No, it reached him fast is what I'm trying to say. But you've still got to be burying it. And I know that will be replaying in his mind, unfortunately for Rom. And he's already been through a tough time, probably mentally, after the disaster of the World Cup for Belgium and a pretty poor spell at Chelsea. Blues fans, by the way, head in hands knowing that he's coming back to them.
We want you, the fans at home and abroad, to support someone else.
But honestly, even worse than that, and 2 misses in a Champions League final got him unfollowed by Megan Thee Stallion. Listen, he's not going to give up that easily though, and he's outside Meg's house as we speak, trying to convince her to take him back.
I wanna say I'm sorry for the things I've done.
So after some late scares, and Manchester City had done it. They were finally Champions League winners for the first time in their history after so many nearly moments under Pep Guardiola. City officials had to go and round up Kevin De Bruyne, who'd been seen roaming the streets of Istanbul. Jack Grealish was peppered 6 seconds after full time, and off the pitch, for the interviews, was having a great time too. Kyle Walker was trying to avoid selfies at all costs. The celebrations and trophy lift were something to behold. Oh, Sergio, man, come on, you're not part of the team. So, what are you doing here? Barcelona were quick to congratulate their former manager, again Pep Guardiola, for his achievements. Lads, just have some shame. He's not your manager anymore. Stop texting your exes, please. Whoever is running that account, the admin, just download Tinder. I promise it's better than doing this. But not everyone was happy for Manchester City. Roy Keane laid out what he wanted to do to Rodri after the Spaniard matched his achievements in the beautiful game.
Do you know what? What I might do is I might smash into somebody just to make me feel better.
But Manchester United wing-back Brandon Williams took it a step further as he went off on a ridiculous rant on Instagram about how Manchester City had paid for league titles, how Man City fans were rattled by him instead of enjoying the moment, how United had won the treble first and so that Man City somehow doesn't mean anything anymore. The only man that was actually rattled during any of this was him. But obviously he did bring up the point of Manchester City buying the Champions League. And is there an argument to be made? I mean, the first rebuttal will always be from Man City fans that United's net spend over like the last 5 years has actually been greater than Manchester City's. No one's doubting that Man City have done some decent business in recent years, getting the likes of Haaland for as cheap as they did. Julian Alvarez looks like he's going to be a great investment. But at the end of the day, over 100 charges are hanging over Man City's head. And are those the real reason why Man City have won this Champions League? And to be honest, I don't want to like dump on Man City because I think their achievements this season have been incredible. I'm the first to take the piss out of the fact that there was no fans in the fan zone or something. But at the end of the day, what they've done this season has been truly fantastic. But you can't just cast aside the stuff they're being investigated for, because if they truly have broken as many rules as they have, it's a hollow victory. I can't lie. And Man City fans will say, well, the memories that were created will stay with them. And that is true. For Man City fans, you've won. You've won the Champions League, you've won the league, you won the FA Cup. Doesn't really matter at this point. The memories that they have going and watching the game with a relative or with their mates, seeing that screamer going from Rodri, seeing Ederson's late save, seeing Jack Grealish stumbling through the streets of Istanbul probably, will be enough to last a lifetime. But I think all the UEFA breaches are the one thing that's going to stop us from categorising this Man City squad as the best ever, just for the time being, until there is a conclusion to all of those legal proceedings. But what do you make of it? Man City have finally won a Champions League. Is this the greatest squad in English football history? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video though, feel free to slap a like on it and subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
baby.